Welcome back, YouTubers, to my channel of an everyday life of an Aspie. If you're new to my channel, I welcome you all. I'm Aspie. I'm all about creating mental health and sharing my life stories with my stories of Aspie's syndrome and the like, taking you all on a journey along with tips and advice along the way, be it your general health versus your mental health. It has been brought to my attention today basically that I was talking to someone on one of the groups that I'm in of the autistic related groups yesterday, and based on a topic that I thought maybe to share, since this might not have been talked about so much, based on homeschooling your child with autism spectrum disorders. I know for a fact that many parents will struggle with the fact that they may have many questions about, you know, how their child will progress and everything else, but I'm here today to hopefully just educate you all and motivate you all one way or another. So if you're into any of these autistic related topics or health related topics that I bring out, or even just fun and games, whatever I'm going to bring in the bandwagon today, smash the like button or feel free to subscribe on the bottom right hand corner, because as I said, I do this hopefully on the daily, Monday to Friday, or Monday, Wednesday, Friday, time permitting. So let's begin this before I run out of time. As we know, we need to question ourselves: if our child is fully diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, would it be, you know, the right fit for them to actually learn from home, right? And as a parent, if you're watching with a child with autism, you're trying to tend to think, will this be the best fit for them, best option for them, you know, as well as maybe for you as well as a parent, because obviously you need to put yourself out there too, you know, as a teacher and a parent, so you have two roles now, being at home with your child. So, you know, you need to switch those hats now and again, you know, be a teacher or as a parent. As you fully well know, with a child with ASD, there's no cut and dried picture of what you might likely to expect or accept on what is to come if you did decide to take the role of a teacher at the home, right? You know, based on the everyday behaviours that your child may, you know, show, based on their learning and social skills, as well as their cognitive skills and language skills that's been, you know, brought as of late. But let me tell you guys that having an ASD diagnosis isn't always doom and gloom, as I said, because obviously, you know, us people with autism spectrum disorders has the hidden talent and gift. And in saying this, that it's up to you guys to hopefully guide us in the right way and teach us in the right way to show the potential that we have to others around us. It doesn't always mean also, regardless of the doom and gloom that you may think of with your child with ASD, that they can't live a normal, everyday, joyful, happy, fulfilled life, basically, as well as, in saying this, you know, being a productive member of society, as well as in the family group setting. Yes, it may be scary as hell just due to the everyday changes that may come into place, though. As we know, most of us autistics don't like change, but with a bit of help along the way in a form of a routine or schedule, you know, that's put into place, this can be good, because if you put this into place with careful planning in advance, the child should be able to wean themselves in and get used to being at home with you guys as parents, and they may be able to learn more at home from the time they grow up, as well as from you as being the teacher slash parent role. As I said, we need to also bear in mind not to get too worked up as a parent over of those two role playing favourites or whatever it may be. In saying this though, they'll be able to know, even though most children, as we should know, learning starts in the home, right? The key here though to remember is to work with your child and not against your child, and individualize each approach of the parenting and educational standards, you know, towards them to set them up for life and success along the way, with the key to unlock their everyday potential. As I said, we all have our potential somewhere and our hidden gifts. It's just a matter of finding out what those gifts are, you know, hearsay. Many parents who has homeschooled their child with ASD that I have heard about has found individualized approaches to it and found it to be the right choice for them and the child. So I'm going to bring out quickly the advantages as well as a few tips for you guys before I end this, and hopefully in saying this that you can make up the choice after this. Not one solution is right for every child, because every child and family is different in their dynamics, how maybe they teach and learn and educate themselves. However, it's just a trial and error, you know, do one thing towards another before you can come up with the right solution for you both. However, homeschooling has some advantages, as I said, that's pretty useful to students with ASD, and they are, number one, gives parents total and complete control over their child, environment, education, and social experiences. As we know, it is a given that, you know, we tend to question how the child will interact and engage with the real world versus just at home and stuff, because as we know, there is a lot of changes and there's a lot of everyday situations that comes to face, be it the meltdown, sensory overload, and that maybe it's a little safe haven for them, you know, being at home in a familiar place with a familiar face. Number two, provides a truly individualized program tailored for or to the child's unique needs and abilities and interests. In saying this, you got to just bear in mind, basically, with these interests at heart, you know, be it if it's, you know, their obsession as well, maybe roll it into one and actually, you know, teach them with that. Number three, allows the child to have breaks, avoid any sensory meltdowns, basically, or sensory triggers and social frustrations that will make it easier for them to learn. Number four, removes social pressures and struggles and providing a safe and loving environment in the home and with you guys. Number five, this will enable the parents to spend more time watching their child to learn and grow. 6, removes the everyday pressures of academic advocating and IEP meetings, hearsay, and anything else that involves, you know, with the teachings around to give you guys tips from the friendly Aspie about how to work around with children with ASD if you do decide to homeschool them. Number 1, again, work with the topic fixations or obsessions that they are, you know, interested in. As we know, most children with ASD have become often fixated on a specific kind of interest at heart, regardless if it's trains, buses, and that. Make it fun while you're doing this, obviously, with these fixations and to their interests at heart. As a parent or teacher hat role, you know, when you reverse all these roles, you can use this to tailor as well for these fixations, as well as engaging to your child with this. They don't have to be a hindrance or distraction for you guys. Fixations, as we know, can be and will always be a window of opportunity for the child's mind to actually shine out their potential. Number 2, share your power as the authority figure with your child. What I mean here is you have to help increase the child's confidence and decision-making skills by empowering them to participate with you in the educational decisions. Let your child choose the curriculum that includes topic of interest that appeals to them and their visual strengths and provides a structure for them. Putting them in this natural position will also help them develop critical thinking skills. It can help both of you and keep you both focused and motivated through any setbacks that may come about. So it will help you in preparation what is to come, regardless of the meltdowns or what have you of these setbacks. Number 3, encourage real-world socialization. There are a lot of questions that may be running through your mind as a parent or what have you, or carer around this one for child socializing in the real world with real people, such as, will they be able to function in the real world? Will they be able to actually know how to socialize with their peers? The answer is you won't know until you really actually try. As we know, the real world can be scary, as well as, you know, the real world socialization is another area where you can use your child's fixation, again, to create or make connections and enhance the child's learning and development for these social skills. Example here, basically, just to give you a clearer understanding to what I'm saying. If they're fixated on cars, he say, maybe take your child to a mechanic shop so they can watch, you know, the mechanic do up a car or what have you. And if the mechanic's, you know, nice enough, depending on your age of the child, they might, you know, involve them if they have free time. You never know, but it pays to ask. Or another classic example, if your child is fixated on history, take them to a museum so that they can, you know, learn more of it. Whatever you do, your child will stay interested in learning and receiving of the socialization skills that's needed to integrate into the real world when that time comes, when they are ready to go out in the real world. Number 4, incorporate physical exercise. As a given, physical movement is crucial for any kids, especially with the children with ASD, and should be done on the daily during the, homeschool routine, but be sure to have a routine and timetable slot for it when you do a visual aid for them, to show them maybe on a little visual clocks you can design up, for what time for an exercise and whatnot, or even using apps to help you with this. This can help a child while doing repetitive movements, basically, that will provide a sensory input for the child to sit still and learn. Number 5, stick to your schedule and take frequent breaks. I can't stress this enough because, as I said before, many of us autistics don't like change, and we thrive on routine and structures. Having a visual schedule aid tool posted somewhere within reach and within us seeing it, be it, paper format versus, as I said before, on an app, can be good. And this, just be in mind though, we do need breaks, to decompress, find sensory input, or simply just taking a break from our everyday learning. Create a safe spot here, say also, and saying this, filled with soothing items, be it books, trains, or whatever they're fixated on. Basically, you can use the spot as a reward system, or a place where the child can escape, basically, if your child is having a sensory meltdown or difficulties transitioning from one task to another. Number 6, last on the list, is know when to ask for help. Never be too ashamed to ask for help, because we know that when it comes to teaching with kids with special needs, sometimes we need to find the right, support network around us, be it whatever it may be. Just to be a note, as always, you're not alone in this process, because once in a while you might bump into a parent with a child with special needs, and maybe if you go into some form of support groups that may have in your local area to see and hear out what they do in the way of educating their child or whatever it may be. You're likely to need help though, however, just to be in mind, choosing the right curriculum and classes for the child, as well as finding the right support team that will understand your child, as well as the importance of having the right curriculum for your child learning needs, as well as understanding this, that hopefully in this, the learning support person or whoever you may, engage with should be able to, meet the needs of the child while you're away from them if you need a break from it, hearsay. Okay, to end this, another note to bear in mind with homeschooling your children with ASD, this increases family time, helps prepare your child for the real world. It allows you to have the flexibility to focus on therapies and providing a safe and loving and exciting school experiences along the way in their everyday life. Well, this quickly ends a quick short video, hopefully, on homeschooling your child with ASD. Smash the like button, comment below. I'm going to open up the floorboard while saying this, that if any of you that has been homeschooled and is autistic, was it beneficial for you? Why or why not? And basically, what did you learn from it? What's the benefits maybe of homeschooling? If I've missed out any, feel free to give the advantages versus the disadvantages. I know there are a few disadvantages most likely in homeschooling for people on the spectrum versus just normal everyday people, but feel free to do so. And all further ado, guys, basically feel free to share these videos around to family and friends, and also don't forget, as I said, to subscribe if you want to join me on my journey, as my schedule is usually Monday to Friday, or Monday, Wednesday, Friday, time permitting, as well as, weather permitting at the moment as well, because I was hoping to take you out somewhere, hopefully, of certain everyday activities that's happening in my local area. And all further ado, guys, thanks for support, thanks for watching, do what I love what I do. Until next time, Aspie signing out.